Y'all, y'all, y'all ready for this? Yeah. 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 Hey everyone, welcome to the show. And my name is Rev Trev. I go by Rev Trev NFL. Thank you so much for being here, being a part of the channel. And I love producing fantasy football content, NFL content, Green Bay Packer content. As you can see, I'm a Green Bay Packers fan. But today we're going to be talking about fantasy football. And when you're a fantasy football player, most times you can't be a homer and win your fantasy football league. But I went on a big change, and this year I decided to do a fun league and invite a bunch of people into it, 12 teams into it, and we are doing they didn't know, but when I drafted, I did a NFC North only team, guys. NFC North only team, and this is how the format went. So NFC North only players I tried to draft, got hosed in the draft a little bit. Missed out on Josh Jacobs, missed out on Sam Darnold, missed out on Caleb Williams and Jared Goff, but I got a ton of great players. Gibbs I missed out on, St. Brown. Here's the thing, my team's on fire, everyone. And you're like, how did you just listed all these players? How did you come on fire? And it's because the NFC North, guys, is on fire this year. That's how it is. And I also have picked up some really key guys that have done things. So if you want to compete and contend and win fantasy championships, guys, fantasy championships, come and listen to my fantasy advice. Now, my fantasy advice isn't just taking a division in the NFL and saying I'm only going to draft from them. That was just for fun. But boy, has it turned out to be a great strategy for me. And we're going to dive into like what's going on. I think this is episode 6. So I haven't been able to stream this content for a couple of weeks. I have gone on a 2-game winning streak. Here's what's wild about my team, and I'll show it to you in just a second. But when I was doing the draft, and I was starting doing the draft, guys were like, "You're going to win only 4 games. You're going to win only 4 games." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're probably right." Then I missed out on some of the key players, and they're like, "Dude, you're gonna maybe win 2." And I am 4-2 in my league, and I'm actually what does it say that I am? I am 3rd overall. 3rd overall, everyone. This is insane, absolutely insane. So I've exceeded my expectations, the league's expectations. It's been absolutely fantastic. But we'll get into some fantasy football strategy. We're going to get into talk about trades. We're talking about the trade block, how to use that properly. And also, we're going to be talking about the traded players and some rest of the season players that you might want to target going forward. So let's first of all quickly just get into this league. And I want to show you, I'm not lying, the king of the North, which is me, okay? Rev Trev NFL. 3rd place. This is crazy. Q-Brew is number 1 with Adrian, 5-1. These guys have really great teams. Look at how many, but look at their point score is 800. Mine's 870, everyone. 870. I'm the best team in the league points wise. My friend Packer Nation 74 and Mikey are just bottom of the barrel here. I don't know how they're going to turn around. And they're missing. All you need is love has Caleb Williams, and his doesn't even have another quarterback to play because it's a 2 quarterback league, right? So This is getting crazy. Let's go to my team. I'll quickly show you a couple things here. So, a couple weeks ago, Jordan Love, Justin Fields. I couldn't get another quarterback. He's been serviceable. DeAndre Swift has been awesome. Jefferson's been solid. DJ Moore's been amazing. I had to start Freiermuth. Jaden Reed was fine. Wicks didn't play as good, but look at this Chicago Bears defense is for real when it comes to fantasy football. Same with the Vikings. I couldn't get them, try to get them. And then, of course, Montgomery and JMO were on bye weeks, everyone. So, and I still got Hawkinson that I'm trying to get in there. So that was the 1 week. I won that week barely. I think I won by 3. But last week, I was the highest scoring team in the league with 167 points, as you can see on the side here. I overachieved my projection of 120 to 167. And Jordan Love was amazing. Justin Fields was amazing. How did he lose his job? I don't know. Montgomery has been a monster. Swift was great again. Jay Williams, very good. Very good. DJ Moore didn't have a good week last week, even though they destroyed the Jaguars 35-16. I had to put McBride in. He did well for me. Jay Reed, again, 11 points. Tracy, I had to throw him in there. Got me 19. That's where it went crazy. And then Chicago's defense got me 11. So, bye week for Jefferson, all that kind of stuff, right? Injuries to Jones, still Hawkins on there. So let's talk about this week. Let's talk about the matchup this week. And I'm playing against Jeremy, big 49ers fan. He's only 2-4. He's projected to win. And he's got Sam Darnold and Mahomes, Jacobs, Brian Robinson. Cooper Kupp is back for him. Harrison's back for him. Schultz that's a weak one there for his tight end. Pollard has had a really great year, and Godwin has been the biggest surprise in the NFL. Now, he only got 3 points from the New Orleans Saints. I don't have a defense yet. I'm a little stuck because I need to drop somebody, and I don't know who to drop. So here we are. So I've got Justin Fields in here. I need to take him out because he's not going to be starting now. So I might have to drop Justin Fields. And then, I can't move anything until I do something. So let's just drop Justin Fields. Okay. I hope this doesn't bite me in the butt, because if it does, I'm hooped. Let's see if I can drop someone else instead to get the roster proper, because they're saying that Aaron Jones is questionable, so I can't do anything. Because there's someone else I can drop. I'm just going to drop Madison, even though I shouldn't be. I just can't afford to not have a quarterback there. So Wilson and Fields, I got to have them both just in case something happens there. So I'm dropping Madison. I know this isn't the greatest strategy, but he's not an NFC North guy. So now I can bring him back to the bench. I think he's going to even play this week. And I got Detroit versus Minnesota. That's not a great matchup I want. I'm just trying to keep it this way. So Tracy's out. I'm going to put Jones in because I think he's going to play. If he doesn't, I'll switch them out. And this is the roster now. So let's just go to the matchup and let's just see. Now I've got a better chance of winning, but he's still scheduled to beat me. So we're going to see how this goes, everyone. We're going to see how this goes. This is going to be incredible. So not incredible. This will be interesting to see. But I should have won week 2. So I should be 5-1, not 4-2. That's really what happens. I got robbed. Now let's dive into, it's just wild to see that you can win, right? So we'll dive in. We'll get out of here. I want to talk quickly while everyone's here about fantasy football trade strategy. So right now we're in week 7, going into week 7. Right now is the time where it's you've seen enough to know what guys should be continuing to be good, what guys should not. But that's the problem. There's still a lot of football to play, and some teams, there's going to be players that are going to turn around that had bad first few weeks, and their numbers are lower. So you just got to make sure you do that. So when you go and you're looking for a trade, the thing is, it's the hardest thing to do is to trade after a guy has a bad week. So, for example, I'd love to get Jordan Love in some of the leagues, but I have Dak Prescott in one of my leagues. I can't trade Dak Prescott right now. He had a terrible week. In fact, he lost me one of my weeks because, in a different league, of course, because he had like a couple points, right? So when you're trying to trade someone, and it's not that I want to trade. I like Dak in fantasy. Normally he's really good or very solid. But, even Lamar Jackson has up weeks and down weeks, of lost people, has had great regular seasons and then lost him in the playoffs. Josh Allen has literally had some monster weeks and some dud of weeks. And so the quarterback situation is really hard to do, but you can't trade guys who have no value, right? Or little value. And so, for example, well, we'll talk about that in a second about the trade block, but so you have to be smart. You have to go to their team and look and say, hey, this is what he needs, and here's what I need, right? And sometimes I just send out a message saying, hey, I'm looking to do a trade. What are your areas of need that you want? And try to work out a deal. For example, in one of my leagues, I have 6 wide receivers in the top 25 so far this year. It's insane. And I use the double hero RB strategy, and I landed Henry and Kamara. Okay. So my team's absolutely stacked. I even picked up Laporta, and Laporta is still not great. And that's the thing. That's the thing. I'm winning weeks, and I've got all these superstars for running backs. I've got Neighbors, Cup, Jefferson, Brian Thomas, Jaden Reed, and Jamo Williams. They're all in the top 6. So I'm trying to trade one of those guys. There was an offer sent to me for Bigsby, Jamo for Bigsby straight up. And I'm like, is ETN coming back? Is he just going to suck all year? That's the thing you have to wonder. And so should I trade a guy like Jamo or Brian Thomas Jr. and get myself some more running back depth? Because after Henry and Kamara, it is slim pickings. I have Eckler and Irving, which I love, Bucky Irving. And then there's another guy I've got in there, which is, let's go to my team just real quick so I can remember. I don't know why I'm missing. So Tracy, I picked up Tracy. So yeah, just looking for some more depth, trying to figure it out. But I have to drop somebody because I have Neighbors, right? And so Neighbors is going to play this week. In that league, I'm literally starting Jefferson, Cup, Neighbors. Are you kidding me right now? Like, book it, everyone. Absolutely book it. So you got to kind of have to figure out a place. Like I've Darnold and Dak. They're not the greatest, but they're not awful. They can help me to win weeks. My team is so good. So you have to think about, like, how do you make little deals? And do I trade Laporta and try to get a different tight end? There's all kinds of different things I could do. So post in the comments some trade scenarios that your trade offers that come your way. I'll help you with that. But let's quickly just talk about using the trade block. And I'm basically going to rant for a second because this is my pet peeve. Why in the world? I don't understand why people use the trade block this way. Okay. So what they do is a player like, let's just say Dak or Kamara is a bad example because he's been a superstar all year. But let's just say someone's had a bad week. Okay. Like Herbert hasn't been good. In one of my leagues, a guy posted Herbert as one of his on the trade block. Well, he's been terrible. Everyone. I mean, if you look at his stats, okay, and I'll bring this up here. Let's just bring this into here. So hopefully you can see this well. Okay, hopefully you can see this well. I'm bringing it up right now. So as you see. Okay, so Lamar Jackson's first place with 145 fantasy points. Actually, I just want to keep it as half PPR and not just the consensus. Yeah, let's just do consensus rankings, okay? But this is stats. So you've got Jackson, Mayfield, Daniels are your top 3 quarterbacks with Burrow, Josh Allen. Nobody predicted this. Look at the top 10. Fields, Geno Smith, Bo Nixon, and Brock Purdy and Kyler Murray are in the top 10. There's like the only people that thought they'd be top 10 would be Murray, Purdy, Josh Allen. Everyone had as the consensus number one. A lot of people had Burrow in the top 10 and Lamar Jackson. There's 5 players in here. Let me just see. 4 players in here that nobody thought was going to be top 10. They had some people have an option. So the guy posts Herbert. Okay. Herbert is quarterback 26 right now. 26. So I sent him an offer, okay, for Geno Smith, who's quarterback 7. He rejected it, didn't say a comment, nothing. Like, who wants these quarterbacks? We're talking this is crazy bad. Derek Carr is better than Justin Herbert this year. Andy Dalton is better than Justin Herbert. You know what I mean? Sam Darnold, better than Herbert. All these guys. Trevor Lawrence is better than Herbert. What do you think you're going to get for Herbert? So this is why I don't understand what people are doing when it comes to these kinds of things. Like, why would anyone want these players? So when it comes to like running backs, for example, Ramondre Stevenson, I've seen people put him on the block. It's like nobody wants him. Doesn't even have 60 points. Now, A-Chain's missed a bunch of weeks. That's a guy people would want. You can target Travis Etienne, who's been terrible. Maybe you can get him for low. I mean, he can't be worth much. The expectations can't be a RB2. Like he's been awful, and so we'll see, right? We'll see. But Montgomery's RB6, everyone. This is insane. Jordan Mason is a league winner right now as RB5. It's craziness. So just some thoughts here. Wide receivers wise, like Reed has been RB3 or wide receiver 3, and Jordan Love is back. So he could still keep that up. CeeDee Lamb's only at 10, and you got Dak, and I'm gonna have a bye week this week, so he's gonna be even less. Like you might be able to get some of these deals, but if you're putting guys on like on the trade block, Darnell Mooney, nobody's gonna give you top dollar for Darnell Mooney. No one's gonna give you top dollar for Michael Pittman right now. Like, don't T. Higgins. It's like, what do you think you're gonna get for these guys? Now let's talk about Amari Cooper. That's a guy who's on the rise. Right? That's a guy on the rise. And so we're going to talk real quickly about this. Okay. So Devontae Adams going from a terrible quarterback situation in the Raiders to the Jets not only increases Adams' value, but also increases Aaron Rodgers' value. Rodgers now has Adams, Wilson, Garrett Wilson, and Lazard to throw to, plus Conklin, plus out of the backfield, he's got Breece Hall. That is significant. So hopefully he can turn around. I understand he's not young anymore, but this is going to help him big time. How much is Adams' ceiling going forward? It's probably pretty good, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe the chemistry is going to be there. I just don't know if the production is going to be there for Rodgers, but you never know. That might be a great guy to pick off of waivers. He's in my league. He's in different situations big time. And so I'm one of my leagues, Anthony Richardson, Aaron Rodgers, and someone else really good is literally on waivers. I need to go pick up one of those guys. You know what I mean? Like it's absolutely wild. Let me just see. Jared Goff is the other guy who's on waivers. Stafford's on the waivers. Stafford's going to be but a good pickup when Cooper Kupp and Puka come back. Man, he could have some monster weeks. He could win you the league depending on how he does, right? So just some things to think about. So now I've got a question that's come in. Start to Nick Chubb, Tyreek Hill. Oh, those are tough. Hunt, nope. I wouldn't start Hunt. James Conner and J-Mo, no PPR. Okay, no PPR. I love Nick Chubb a lot. Obviously, I love Tyreek. I think I would start Connor and J-Mo this week, but next week I'd start Chubb and Tyreek. The thing about Chubb is I think he's going to have a good week, but I don't know if he's going to have a great week. So Connor's the safest. J-Mo's the safest. I think Tua's back. They're talking about Tua being back week 8. So I would start James Conner and J-Mo to be safe, and then Chubb and Tyreek next week. I don't trust Hunt at all, so I wouldn't do that. But that's a great question. And if you want to go Tyreek and Chubb this week, go for it. That's just my advice to you. Okay. So Cup's back. I have to play him. Neighbors is back. I've got to play him. Like these guys are back. It's automatic starts, right? Amari Cooper, I love that. If you can get if you have Amari Cooper, put him in your flex. There is no risk there. I mean, him and Josh Allen are going to have some chemistry. He's a veteran. It's not like he's fallen off the map, guys. He's good. The other thing is some of these running backs that haven't played great, Jacobs, Breece Hall, if you can get them now, it might be a good time to move them. Might be a good time to move for them because the Bigsby is the big X factor. I wonder if he's going to really take over that backfield. A lot of people have been positive, but he's only really had one good week, so I'm a little nervous about Bigsby. But Jacobs is a guy I'd be targeting in a lot of leagues, even though Jordan Love just loves to throw the ball. He's a hybrid of Favre and Rodgers so far in his career. It's been wild. So rest of the season, that should be really good. So hopefully that's going to be good. So anyways, these are just some of the thoughts I had. Talking about trade strategy. Be careful. Don't get ripped off. Try to get the best player in the deal. Use the trade block better. You put on guys on your trade block that have value, not guys who've had terrible weeks or a terrible season, because you're not going to get anything for them. Okay. So Ryan says currently starting T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, Bigsby, and Jordan Mason. Who would you take out? Any of them of the guys I named? Well, I would take out Bigsby for Connor. I would keep Mason in. And then wide receivers wise, J-Mo, or I like T. Higgins better, Garrett Wilson better. I would keep J-Mo on the bench then. That's what I would do. Yeah, good question, though. Good question. So Higgins, Wilson, Connor, Mason, that's how I would do. That's what I would do. So, yeah. Anyways, I got to run. Hope that you guys are doing well. Thanks so much for watching the channel. Thanks so much for being a part of the show. And also, just actually right before you go, just a reminder, I just did this video. It's the preview for the Texans Packers game. And then today I did this one around the NFL and talked about all these different teams, all the big matchups for this week. So make sure you check it out. All right. Have a great day. And thanks again for watching. Really appreciate it. And Ryan, thanks for the questions. I appreciate that. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. And I hope that you win your fantasy football leagues. If you want to compete and contend and win championships, got to do some of the things I talked about. Have a good day.
Y'all ready for this?